Our family has been working out in the garden for the last week, pretty long hours, and so everybody is actually really hungry because we're outside all day and I'm not inside cooking as much. But last night or yesterday I got this batch of sourdough bread going. I only had the chance to do about 2 or 3 sets of stretch and folds on it. I usually do at least 4, but I just went ahead and got it into a Banneton basket, got it nice and shaped, and put it in the refrigerator for overnight, and then covered it with a wet towel so that it didn't get dry and crusty on the top, and baked it this morning. And I am so glad I did. It's one great thing about having sourdough going in your refrigerator is that you have it ready to go when everyone is hungry. So first thing this morning, I got up, did a few of my morning routines, and then I got this popped into the oven after of course, I scored it and baked it for about 40 minutes, and it just turned out to be the perfect timing. Everyone was coming back with another load of rocks and bark for the garden, and it was just in time to make French toast for everyone this morning. So perfect timing. Definitely recommend just keep it going in your kitchen so that you have it when everyone is hungry. So I don't always obey the rules with sourdough. I always cut it while it's hot. You can probably see the steam coming off it right now. And a lot of people say it's gummy this way, but honestly, it's delicious. As long as you bake it for like 45 minutes, it still turns out great. You can still see the air holes in there. Of course, they squish a lot easier when you're cutting it hot, but it still tastes delicious. So I am going to turn this into some French toast for my family. If I wasn't making French toast, I would probably just enjoy this with some soft butter on it right now. And this is from my beginner sourdough bread recipe on the blog at farmhouseharvest.net, or I actually renamed it to No Need Sourdough Bread because you don't need it. You do stretch and folds, and I will link that recipe in the description box below. Another really good recipe to have on hand if you are really busy and you want something that you can make ahead is chicken salad. This is perfect for lunch or for dinner, especially for summertime when you don't want to heat up your kitchen or your house. You can just cook your chicken breasts in the Instapot. It's super fast and easy. And then I like to chop up, I use a red onion, I use green onion, bacon, grapes. You can use celery or you don't have to use celery. It's just simple. You can actually just adapt it to what you have on hand, but I do like to use the green onions very much, and some fresh herbs make it delicious. And then it has a really simple dressing it's made with mayonnaise and sour cream, and then some fresh spices in there also. The easiest way that I have found to make perfectly crisp bacon is to put it on paper bags on the cookie sheet and bake it in the oven until it's perfectly crispy. And that's what I usually do when I am making this salad or when I'm making bacon at all in my house. So this is super simple. You just put all your ingredients, everything you've chopped up, including the chicken, into a bowl. You add your sour cream, your mayo. I always use mustard seed powder, garlic powder, lemon juice, salt and pepper to taste, and that makes the perfect dressing for this chicken salad. Then after mixing it together, you can just cover it with plastic wrap and refrigerate it. In fact, you need to refrigerate it to let the flavors meld together, but it's so easy at this point. You can put it in the refrigerator, be out working in the yard, going swimming, doing all the fun summer things, and then it's ready to go in your refrigerator when you come home. So this is also one of our favorite recipes for special occasions. It's just easy to make ahead and put it in the refrigerator, or just for some simple meals for your family that you can make ahead and keep on hand. Everybody loves it. And I will link this recipe in the description box below also. All right, I'm just going to take you guys out to the garden, show you the progress that we made. We have put weed barrier just about everywhere except for where our plants are growing in those rows. And then we're covering it with bark. I chose bark over rock because rock gets super hard or it gets super hot, and the soil under it gets really hard, and then the worms and the microorganisms inside the soil, they die and don't live there anymore. And so if you use bark instead, it stays cool and it absorbs moisture, and then the worms and the microorganisms and roots and things can thrive underneath the weed barrier without coming through the weed barrier. So you have to use a really good quality landscape weed barrier, and the ones with the stripes on them that they look like a tarp on top and they're felted on the bottom is a really good weed barrier. So highly recommend doing that. That's what we've been up to. Now I'm going to take you out to the peonies. These peonies are just looking beautiful this year. We planted them with you on this channel. I think it's been 2 years now. And I am just going to cut myself a huge vase of these. I'm keeping them on my kitchen counter, and they're so pretty. I wish that they would last forever. Peonies are one of my great favorite flowers to grow because they're so easy. They're planted by root starts, and they come up. They just need moisture and good soil, good drainage. But that's about it. You fertilize them once in the springtime, they're good to go. And they're just so beautiful. They come back. Actually, they can live for up to 50 years. Peony plants do. And I see that a lot around town with a lot of the really older homes. They have these huge, beautiful peony plants, and sometimes they'll do like a hedge of peony plants, a short hedge of peony plants, and they've been there forever, and they're beautiful and huge. Come back every spring. They're super low maintenance. I don't even know, most people probably don't even fertilize them around here, but they are very low maintenance, very easy to grow, and the most beautiful flowers. In fact, they are the most expensive flowers in bouquets to buy. So definitely recommend growing them if you're not already doing that. I do have a blog post that walks you through the process of growing peonies on my blog at farmhouseharvest.net, and I will link that below in the description if you're interested in planting them around your home. This is why you need to grow peonies. I just love how frilly these flowers are. They're lacy and very feminine and just so beautiful, and they smell good too. Okay, I'm going to show you guys one of our family's favorite drinks this summer. It is a strawberry refresher. It's actually a copycat recipe from Starbucks strawberry acacia refresher. It's made with strawberries, white grape juice. You could also maybe use some apple juice. You boil your strawberries with that juice, and then you strain out the strawberries and get as much of the strawberries that you can in there, and then boil that down, and that's your drink base. And then we actually add to it passion fruit powder extract, which is delicious, and the acacia fruit powder, which is really high in antioxidants. It's a superfood. And then you serve it over ice. You can add a little water. You can add more of the strawberry base for how sweet you want it. And Starbucks does add a green coffee bean extract. I do not use that, but I do add Mary Ruth's ginseng just for a little extra energy in the day. And then you serve that over ice with sliced strawberries, and it is delicious. It's so refreshing. Everybody loves it, and you won't be able to keep enough of it on hand because it will go fast, but it keeps everyone hydrated through the summer, and it keeps everybody happy. They all love it. So I will link this recipe in the description box below also, and hope that you love it as much as we do. This really is perfect for another make-ahead summer treat that you can keep in your refrigerator and just have it on hand. It is so delicious. It's great for guests. It would be great for parties or gatherings just because it is so pretty in your cup. Well, thanks for coming along with me this week. I hope you enjoyed some of these recipes and some garden inspiration, and I hope it gave you some good ideas for you to use around your own home. As always, thank you so much for watching my video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and we will see you next time.